TikTok, TikTok. What's happening? What's happening? So I'm gonna share a little story with you guys. So last week, my wheel hub seal was leaking, and so I went to this Love truck stop. And when I went to the Love truck stop, I spoke to the guy, and I told the guy that I had a wheel hub seal leak, and that it's right there on the second row, passenger side inner tire. I said there's a wheel hub seal leak. So I asked the guy, I said, how much does it cost to get that fixed? And the guy immediately told me $750. Now, mind you, I have gotten a wheel hub seal leak repaired in the past. So when he told me that it cost $750, I knew from my past experience that there's no fucking way that it costs $750. Now, what I want to share with you guys is that just, having your own business, and not just having your own business, but anything that you're, anything that has something to do with your personal life, right? Relationships, anything. But a lot of times, sometimes, in the back of my mind, I might be thinking like, okay, I need to say something, so I might hesitate in my mind and say, you know what, no, I ain't gonna say nothing, right? Well, but then I'll eventually say it because I feel like it's needed for me to say it. So when the guy told me that, I went into the shop. Now, he was working at the front desk. Now, when I came in, some people really want to act like they know it all, right? Like they know everything, right? But he was doing a lot of talking when I came in. And it's an old saying is, the person who's talking a lot, you keep an eye on that motherfucker, straight up, right? So I said, man. So anyway, so when I asked him about the wheel hub seal, he told me $750. I said to myself, I said, man, that shit don't sound right. So when he told me that, I went to the shop and I spoke to the mechanic, and he was working on my truck. And I asked him because he was working on to see if my batteries was good. Because I went in there initially get battery checked to make sure that my 4 batteries was good. So when I pulled in, he walked to the back and noticed that I had some oil on the tires. And he said, man, you got a wheel hub seal leak. So he the one that brought that to my attention. And he was real thorough. So when I came back and I told him, I said, yeah, man, the guy up in there told me that the wheel hub seal leak cost $750. Now, mind you, what if I didn't say anything to this guy? What if I hesitated, right? So that's why it's always important to try to always get a second opinion. And don't hold back, just say the shit, right? So when I told the guy, I said, yeah, man, he said it's $750 for wheel hub seal leak. And I said, man, I've gotten wheel hub seal leaks done before, and they were never that pricey. And he said, what? He said, nah, man, it should be no $750. So, because I said something, he got up, and I followed him to the office. And the guy, when we walked in the office, he told the guy, he said, man, the wheel hub seal leak don't cost $750. And he said, oh, really? Right? Now, when you're an owner operator, it's all about trying to save some money. You're going to spend money on getting your truck repaired. But when you have people who are incompetent, right? Like, they can make you end up spending more money. So this guy said, nah, man, the wheel hub seal leak don't cost no $750, bro. It says $350. And all this guy said, the guy who told me it was $750, he's like, oh, okay. And I'm looking at this dude like, man, come on, like in my mind. But see, the old me would have said something to him straight up, right? But remember, y'all, I'm the comprehensive man now, right? Not the reactionary man, like I used to be. But I kind of looked at him, straight face, you know, so he wouldn't, you know, get defensive or anything. But I just kind of looked at him like, come on, man, in my mind, like, damn, right? So the moral of the story is, you have something on your chest, or you have a thought about maybe I shouldn't say anything or hesitate, you know, say the shit and always get a second opinion, right? So, you know, that right there saved me some money. Now, at that same shop, I had another situation. So they were unable to take off the hub assembly. In order for them to fix the wheel hub seal, they have to take off the hub assembly. And the guy couldn't take it off, right? Since he couldn't take it off, right, they couldn't do the wheel hub assembly. Now, mind you, they ordered the parts, but they haven't picked up the parts yet, right? So he did the battery check, he did my water separator. They didn't pick up the wheel hub seal. They said because they have oil on the brakes that I was going to have to get some new brakes because they don't clean brakes, so you got to get new brakes. Cool, blah, blah, blah. So because the guy could not take off the hub assembly, they just put it back together. Now I go into the shop. Now when I go back to the shop, the guy prints out, you know, like, you know, the receipt or telling me how much so he prints it out and I'm like, how much it costs? And he said, yeah, man, it's $450. I said, $450? So always ask questions, man, because I'm telling you, these people don't be paying attention, right? And they gonna make you spend unnecessary money. So I said, hey man, I said $450. How is that $450? I said, he said, oh yeah, this and this. You got the battery check, you got the water separator, right? And then you got the brakes. I said, look, I said, I didn't get no brakes, right? I didn't get any brakes. Y'all never went to go get the parts, right? And then also, he was unable to take off the hub assembly. So you guys never went to the shop to get the parts. And then he says, oh, let me go see. I'm like, what you mean go see? You know they didn't go get the parts, so he went to go see. And he said, oh yeah, you're right, right? So I was about to spend $450, right? But always cover your tracks, always ask questions. And then from it being $450, I was gonna have to pay, now it was only $140. So always ask questions, cover your tracks, right? Don't hesitate. You always get a second opinion, right? But cover your tracks. Peace.